Hello, and welcome back to Trying to Figure It Out. This week I am here with some very special guests. I am so excited you guys are here with me today. Addie, Brady, and Rustin. We have a whole crew over here. Welcome to Trying to Figure It Out.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. We're so excited.
I know. First podcast, first time in LA.
Yep.
Exciting stuff.
Yes.
Rustin's first flight ever.
Yes.
How did that go?
It honestly was better than we could have imagined. He was so good. He took a little nap. He made a friend. He had a lot of fun looking outside.
That's amazing. I'm glad it was a good first travel experience with him. To officially introduce you to our audience, you are a content creator with over 3 million followers on TikTok, and a lot of your content focuses on your life with Rustin and Brady. Not many people know much about your background, which is why I'm super excited to have you here. So can you tell me a little bit about what life looked like for you before Brady and Rustin?
Well, before Rustin, I just graduated high school like 2 years prior. So I was working, and then I met Brady like a little while after I graduated. We didn't know each other in high school. A lot of people think we went to high school together, but we didn't. I was working at Sheetz for a while. I really enjoyed that. You want to sit with me? Yes. Okay. Come here. Hi. But yeah, so I was just working a job. I was thinking about going to college. I took some... Hi, don't touch that, okay?
Maybe it would be easier if you were using the handheld mic.
Okay, yeah, that would work.
I think that's a better call.
We're resetting.
Sorry.
Okay, yeah, so I was working at Sheetz. I really enjoyed it. I said I was gonna go back to college at some point. I took some community college classes in high school, and I was gonna do maybe criminal justice. And I've always enjoyed being around like doctors when I was growing up. My sister was in and out of hospitals a lot. And I'd always said I wanted to be a doctor, but then my dad was in the Secret Service. So that's where the criminal justice kind of came from. I thought it was so interesting to learn about the government, how everything works. I never ended up doing that. I had Rustin. But yeah, that's pretty much all. Like I was just hanging out with Brady and working for a while.
What was your high school experience like?
I had an okay high school experience. A lot of people always say like, oh my gosh, I bet you were so popular in high school. But I really kind of just... Rustin, I'm trying to talk. I can't focus. But I was saying I really didn't have that many friends. I've kind of always just done my own thing, which is like super nice now, like that I have Rustin. He's like my own little best friend. I never really had in high school. I had friends, but they would come and go. Do you want down? Yeah, there's water out there. But for the most part, it was good. I kind of just tried to focus on my classes, my grades. I didn't go out a whole lot. We'll go out and see the water soon, okay?
Now, buddy, okay?
But yeah, so I didn't go out a lot. I had some friends I'd hang out with on the weekends. We'd kind of just stay in. But overall, high school was okay for me. A lot of people didn't like me, and I didn't know why. I didn't have the best friends that everyone always has, that core group of girls.
Stereotypical high school experience.
Yeah, I didn't get invited to a lot of things. But that's okay, because then I met Brady, and I was really close with my sister during high school too. So she was like a really good friend for me. And my family, I have a brother, and so we would just kind of hang out on weekends, and yeah.
It is hard to like feel like you're in high school and everyone's like, enjoy it, have the best time, go out, make your first mistakes, and
everyone's
do all
like,
these
this
things.
is the best days of your life, you're gonna miss it. And I'm like, no, like this life we're living is so much better than it was in high school. But at the time I was like, I felt like I was missing out, or I was blowing my life away because I wasn't going out doing crazy things. But
high school and just school in general, you're done at 18. You have so much more of your life that you live not school related. So for that to be the best days of your life, it's like we have a lot more life to live for that to be the best time
and I wish
of my
I knew
life.
that at the time, because I did spend so much time wishing I was doing other things, or wishing I did things differently.
For sure.
But like I just felt like after high school I was gonna feel so old, but like I still feel so young. Like we're so young still. I just thought like, oh, you graduate, now you're old and you don't have any of your life left. But that's literally the opposite.
So much life left to live. Can you tell me a little bit about your relationship with your parents and what their parenting style was, and where you guys are now?
I have a good relationship with my parents. I've always wanted to meet my parents' expectations. They have such high expectations for me, and I never wanted to let them down. But they have been so understanding and they're so excited about Rustin. But yeah, so their parenting style, I don't know how I would say their parenting style was. It's very traditional. They're the best parents and they love Rustin so much.
Walk me through when you found out you were pregnant and what the first conversations were between you and Brady and kind of what that whole experience was like for you.
So we found out on New Year's of, I guess it would have been 2022. We wanted to go out and do something fun. And I was like, I had a little bit of suspicion that I might be pregnant. We went to Walmart and we got pregnancy tests. And I was so nervous to take it. I knew it was going to be positive.
He's like, Walmart.
I knew it was gonna be positive. Brady was the one who looked at it, and he just like ran into the bedroom, and I was like, I couldn't understand if his face was like yes or no. So I went in, and he was like, "You're pregnant." I was like, "No, like really?" I was like so suspicious that I was pregnant. I kind of knew, but at the same time, I was like, that can't be real. Like my whole life, I just had like a feeling I was never gonna be able to have kids for some reason. Like I know I've heard other people think the same way too, and I was like, there's no way. So then we were super excited. We were just like, we kind of wanted it to be our own, squeezing the duck. We wanted it to be our own secret for a while. We didn't totally plan on hiding it as long as we did. Yeah. But it had gotten to a certain point where we were like, how have we not told anyone, and how has nobody like noticed? I felt
oh my gosh.
I felt so huge with Rustin, and like I was just wearing really big sweatshirts, and then at a certain point we were like, well, it's fine if we tell everyone, like everyone's just gonna be so excited. But then we were like, they're gonna be so upset we haven't told them this long, like we kept a secret this long. But originally we just thought it would be nice to have our own little secret and like kind of soak it up and just let it be the two of us.
Gosh, you might want to keep it.
Okay,
she wants
we're gonna leave it here
right now, buddy.
But yeah, we just wanted it to feel like it was still the two of us for as long as possible before sharing with everyone. So yeah, it like how I actually hid my pregnancy, Rustin. Yeah, I just. Do you want to say hi?
Booby.
You want to get down?
Did he say booby?
Yes, that means I need to eat and I want comfort. Hungry. I swear we packed some M&Ms. Yeah, I just wore super baggy clothing. I know a lot, like people in public, I wouldn't try to hide it. And so like word got around town before I even like announced my pregnancy, just because people, you know how things spread like a wildfire. You know. So yeah, I thought it might get back to my parents before I got to even tell them too.
M&M's.
Yeah, which was a big worry for me. But I didn't love keeping a secret as long as we did, but it just got to the point where we were like, when are we going to tell everyone? Right. Like, I've hid it this long. Yeah. Like, when are we going to tell everyone? So, yeah, we told my parents. We went to get ice cream with them. I texted them. I was like, we need to talk. Like, we need to sit down and talk.
We need to have a conversation.
Yeah. And they knew. Like, they said, yeah, we were super suspicious about that. I had gained, like, over 80 pounds with him. So they were like, we noticed you were gaining weight. That's not, like, normal for you. Like, I've been pretty the same weight my whole life. Right. So they were like, we thought that could be why. And they were like, we're so excited. And that day we went home and went through all of the old baby clothes she saved for me. Like, I was like, why? Yeah, I was like, we wanted it to be a secret for a while, but I was like, I hid it this long and I felt bad. Like, we could have been celebrating and doing all this fun stuff this far, but it felt right at the time. Yeah. And I don't want to change anything looking back. It all worked out. Yeah. But yeah, they were so excited. I just felt a little guilty. I hid it. So, because I told them, and I only had like 7 weeks of my pregnancy left. Mm-hmm. So it was like we kind of rushed a baby shower, a gender reveal, all into those 7 weeks.
Yeah. So did you already know the gender, or did you do it?
We were. I wanted to wait till he was born. Brady really wanted to know the gender, so we kind of compromised and waited a long time. Yeah. Do you want to sit with me? We waited a long time, and I was just gonna wait till he was born.
No, you're good.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to wait till he was born to find out the gender, but Brady really wanted to know. So we waited a long time. We let it be a mystery for a while, just the guessing game. Yeah. So then, we did a gender reveal with just our close family. I knew he was a boy the whole time. I just like had such a feeling he was a boy. I was like, I want to be a girl mom someday, but I was like, I know I'm going to be a boy mom. Yeah. Like, and I've just always, you want my hand?
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on, buddy. You went down. So yes, we did the gender reveal. We found out he was a boy, and then we crammed a little baby shower in there at some point. So.
You mentioned that when you were pregnant and hiding things, that word was kind of getting around. Was that like in the community of people you knew from high school? Like who were the people talking about it?
So I would just get people messaging me on Instagram that I hadn't seen in years. Oh my gosh, are you pregnant? And I was like, how do you know this? Like, I
also
guess.
So inappropriate.
I know.
What?
Like I haven't talked to you since like 11th grade.
Yeah.
And Brady also had people from my school messaging him who had never even met him before. Is Addie McCracken pregnant? And I was like, why would we tell you that? Like, clearly I haven't posted it on social media yet, so we didn't want the whole entire world of social media to know.
Right.
But I don't even know who saw me. Someone must have just seen me because I wasn't really trying to hide it, like, out in public that much. Like, if I just wanted to breathe for a while and let my stomach out, I wouldn't try to suck in and like keep it a secret. So I guess just one person saw me, and then just like that, everybody knows. Everyone's texting me, oh my gosh, you're having a baby, like can I come meet the baby when he's born? And I'm like, I haven't talked to you in so long. But so I'm not exactly sure how everyone knew. I just guess someone saw me out in public one day, and then just like that, and I grew up in a really small town, so it was like seemed like everyone just knew all at once, and I was like, oh, this is great.
Has it been a hard adjustment now having people see you on social media, people who might not have been the nicest to you in high school, especially like now trying to act like they were your friend?
Yes, so many people now have messaged me that I hadn't heard from in years. Oh my gosh, Addie, like, do you want to hang out? Not even just hang out, just like trying to have a conversation with me. And I'm like, I would ask you something in high school and you'd turn away and you would act like I didn't even exist. And now you want to be friends, you want to be nice, which is like, I don't like to hold grudges against people at all. Like, I do think people can change, but like, I feel like it's too much of a coincidence for some of the people. Like, I had one girl spit on me in high school, and just the other day she came up to me and she was like, oh my gosh, hi, he's so cute. And I was like, get away from me.
That's messed up.
But just like that, I mean, things like that, it's like, I don't want to hold a grudge and I don't want to be mean, but everybody now who walks into my life is also walking into Rustin's life. So I am super selective of who I let be around us and just around me in general, because I don't want to be upset that someone let me down all the time. If I make new friends and I'm like, oh, feeling the way I was in high school, then he's going to see me upset. So I'm just super cautious about the people I let in our life nowadays. Just because it affects more than just me.
How do you prioritize like making new friends and, you know, trying to expand that like post high school world for yourself?
It is kind of crazy just because I'm like a mom, but I feel so young still, and I'll run into other moms at the park and I'll be like, she would make such a good friend, but like nothing wrong with having older friends, but it's like they're so much farther ahead in life than us. Like, it doesn't feel weird, and I love meeting new people, but it's so hard to find friends like around my age that will be there and will show up, because most of my friends are still in their college partying phase of life. And me and Brady, we didn't skip that phase completely, but we're totally out of it now, which is like, I wouldn't have it any other way. Like, I'm so glad Rustin changed us for the better, but it is kind of hard to keep friends just because nobody seems to understand how it is as a mom. Like, I won't answer my phone for a few days, and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to answer her. And now she's mad at me because I didn't respond. And it's just like, it's just a whole other world being a mom and trying to juggle having new friends. But meeting new friends at the park and the library is really fun with Rustin, because there are lots of like super nice people who have kids his age, which is great for him, but it's hard for me to make mom friends. Right now we're so content, just our little family kind of doing our own thing. Like, we have people we hang out with, but I don't feel like I'm missing out, or like I'm missing part of my life not having a whole entire big group of friends. So like, I wouldn't change it.
What were some of like the early conversations between you and Brady when you found out you were pregnant and felt like, I mean, I'm assuming you guys were living on your own at this point.
We weren't. We were still living, well, we were kind of back and forth between my family's house and his house. I actually had a job working with one of his family members, so we were living with his family for most of the time. Which was also so hard to hide, because I was like nauseous and like I'd be like, no, can you make sure that chicken's fully cooked before I eat it? Like, just like random stuff. I'm like, how did nobody figure this out sooner?
Yeah, truly.
But yeah, so we were living with Brady's family at the time that I found out I was pregnant. We were just honestly like so excited. We instantly started Googling baby names, like baby outfits. We would go like walk around the baby section at Walmart and Target. We were just also like really scared just because of the like how scary the world is nowadays of raising a child. Like I'm scared to go out on my own in public. How am I going to do it with a baby? And at the time Brady was working full time. So I knew I was going to have to be we wanted to have me stay at home at least for like the first couple months of his life. But I was primarily a stay-at-home mom until the whole social media thing came up. So it was hard. We were just really worried about how we were going to do this on our own. Not on our own completely, but you know what I mean.
Financially, it is a conversation. And I'm not a mom, so I don't know anything about it, but it's hard to live on your own in general at our age. So I think it's always important to ask those questions and just know what it's like from your firsthand experience for anyone who watches along or follows your journey, anyone struggling and like trying to figure out how to be a parent and do everything at once.
It's so not easy. A lot of people think we make it look so easy, but we have so many struggles that we just don't talk about online. But for the first over the year of Rustin's life, Brady was spending most of his days working just so we could pay bills and buy him everything he could possibly need. He would work like 12-hour days. He'd come home, just go to sleep. So that was also hard on me, as you can imagine, just to be juggling a newborn baby and just trying to raise him and do what's best for him while Brady's working. And I know he's so exhausted, but I really wanted just us to have like family time.
Of course.
So the whole social media thing has like opened up a whole new world for us. We're so thankful that we can spend so much more time with Rustin and just me and Brady together to focus on our relationship. We have so much more time for that too. It was like heartbreaking. Like Rustin would want to play with Brady, and that's also where his attachment to me comes from. Right. He spends so much time with me. I'm like his safe place. But he would want to spend time with Brady, and Brady, he would always come home and instantly go into dad mode. Like he never complained once about being exhausted, but I just knew he was getting so burnt out from having to work and drive so far every day. He was doing physical construction jobs. And so he'd be so tired, and not just like physically, he'd be so emotionally tired. He's like, I can't, I need to go to sleep. He'd go to bed so early, and even early for Rustin. Like Rustin would still be awake when he was going to sleep. And we were living out of one bedroom for the first over a year of Rustin's life. So I'd have to go figure out something we could do, a way to spend time and give Brady alone time so he could get rested for work the next day.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot, but it definitely pays off, and we wouldn't change a thing. Like Brady's so hardworking. He would never complain.
You guys have like a really great family.
Thank you.
And you can see it in your child, you know.
Thank you.
Now that you have a little bit more freedom, and social media has obviously changed a lot of things, how do you guys prioritize having like a date night or having some alone time? Yeah,
well, so after Rustin goes to bed is primarily our alone time. Now in our apartment, it's still super tiny, so we have to like whisper, but it's like so much nicer. Like I said, we were living in one bedroom for over a year with Rustin. We would not be able to talk hardly after he went to bed. We'd just like sit there and whisper. But now it's so much nicer. We have our own kitchen. We go out and like we make snacks. We watch movies. That's the main time we have alone. We do take like Rustin on date nights, which are still like so romantic just because we just love having Rustin there. He just makes us so much happier. Like we're not ourselves completely without Rustin now. So when we have Rustin, we still have so much fun going out and doing things. I just love watching him be a dad. So it's like after we had Rustin, I fell so much more in love with him. Seeing him, just he's so gentle and caring with Rustin. Our relationship has just gotten 10 times better after having a baby, which is crazy to say because I know people say the first year after having a baby is like the true test, but it's just been so much better for us ever since.
That's amazing. I know you guys are recently engaged.
Yes.
So can you update us on any wedding plans?
Yeah.
Where are you
so
guys at?
It's actually crazy. We're thinking about getting married in July.
Oh wow.
We were always like, we'll wait till next year, but we had this opportunity come up and to do it's called a pop-up wedding. And they pretty much plan everything for you. I still have to get I don't have a dress yet, which is like the main thing. I'm like, can we pull this off? But it's looking like we are going to get married in July.
That's amazing.
I'm so excited. A big push in wanting to get married sooner is so we can start growing our family. Of course. Not that we have to be married to have another kid, but I just want to be able to look at my best in my wedding dress, not have to go through the whole postpartum thing and fully like enjoy myself on our wedding night, and then hopefully start trying for another baby soon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Exciting. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what you just alluded to in terms of how your body changed when you were pregnant. You've been pretty open on social media about how you gained a lot of weight while pregnant. Talk to me about what the experience was like for you.
Okay, so like I had no idea about what you'd go through being pregnant. I had like the swollen ankles, the swollen feet, which is also normal, and the whole weight gain thing is so normal too. But for me, I don't know why it was so hard for me to stop gaining weight when I was pregnant, which I said I know it's normal, but it just seemed like so much for me. And like I said, my whole life I was pretty skinny. I was really small, just petite, and then I gained so much weight when I was pregnant. I just like didn't know how to handle that. And I kept saying to myself, oh, after Rustin's born, I'm going to start going to the gym, working out. This whole time, Brady made me feel still like the prettiest woman in the world, but I was just in shape my whole life. I played sports, so it was like a lot for me to go through. I just didn't know what I was going to do. Like, I'd always gotten so many compliments. Oh, you're so skinny. You look so good. And I was like, I just hated any comment on my body after I was pregnant.
Good or bad.
Yeah, good or bad. Like, I just think it's so unnecessary to talk about people's bodies. But I had this whole idea of like the whole bouncing back after you had a baby, and I quickly gave up on that. I was like, I can hold my entire world in my arms right now. Why do I care about what I look like? So it is still hard. Sometimes I struggle. I have so many stretch marks going out and swimming, but I have to think to myself, like, Rustin does not care what I look like. He wants his mom to be present and happy, and not thinking about, oh, like people can see your stretch marks or the cellulite you have walking down the beach. Nobody's going to remember that. I don't notice it on other people. I think everyone is so beautiful in their own way. And I just really try to focus on not my personality, but like me as a mom. He doesn't care what I look like. So I just try to make sure I feel happy and content without worrying about what my body looks like.
What advice would you give to anyone who was going through the same things that you were going through?
I would just say that your baby doesn't care about anything but you, and well, in our case, me and Brady, like you saw, he just wanted to hold both of our hands. He says, Mommy, Dada, come on. Like, he doesn't care about anything other than you being there and being happy to be there. I just try to be as present as possible. I guess just don't worry about what other people think, because everybody's always going to have an opinion. But at the end of the day, just worry about you and your little family's happiness. It's like nothing else matters. And like, I think everyone will understand that once they become a mom. A lot of people who watch my videos are younger, but it's just like, once your baby's here and happy, that's all that matters. And people are always going to have something to say. So you just have to ignore the negative and focus on you and your baby's health and happiness, and that's all that really truly matters.
Couldn't agree more. You have talked a bit about struggling with anxiety. Did you struggle with anxiety before having Rustin?
So before having Rustin, I had no anxiety ever. Like, I had no worries in the world, really. I was just kind of doing my own thing. I wouldn't say I never had anxiety. Before a test in high school, I'd be like so nervous. I'd be twiddling my thumbs, whatever. But the whole anxiety thing for me was pretty new after having Rustin. And it's been like pretty extreme. Like, you can see he doesn't want to be without me. And I do blame myself sometimes for that, just because I have never left him with anyone else other than me and Brady. Sometimes my mom would watch him after he was born, but I have talked a little bit about how he has really bad allergies. So we had a really bad scare when he was like 3 months old, and I haven't left his side since. Like, he'll go in a different room with my mom when she comes over or when we go to her house. But he is so attached to me, and I know it's because I'm so crazy protective of him, but I just have such a bad fear that something's gonna happen to him, and that my biggest fear is something happened to Brady or Rustin. I don't know what I would do without Rustin. So we had this scare with him and his allergies shortly after he was born, and ever since I've been so protective and just making sure like I'm gonna be there. I have this whole like idea in my mind, something's gonna happen and I need to be there to save him. I'm constantly just making sure he's okay, he's not choking, he's not doing something he shouldn't, he's not gonna fall in the water. But I know that's normal as a mom to be super protective and caring, but I really struggle with the whole anxiety thing. And I like look up to moms who can leave their baby and go do something for themselves, but I just can't get myself to do it because I'm just so convinced that something could go wrong while I'm not there and I won't be there to save him. Like, I just have this idea that I can't leave him, and I look up to other moms who can go leave them, or like even just go to the gym or like go get their nails done, and he's so attached to me, and I just know that's because I haven't let myself leave him once. But I know someday I'm going to be looking back at these days and I'm not going to regret spending every second with him. I know a lot of people think it's not necessarily a bad thing to let your child be so attached to you, but we've gotten comments like, you need to start leaving him, like he's going to be so attached to you. But we don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's a good thing rather than a bad thing. Like, I want him to be attached to me. Like, I'm his mom. Like, shouldn't we have such a good relationship where he wants to spend time with me? I know as he gets older, obviously things will change, and if he doesn't want to hang out with me, that's okay. I just want him to be happy and do what he wants to do. But yeah, it's a whole other world, like trying to navigate what he wants, what I want. But I know someday I'll look back and think it was a good thing that I just kind of went with the flow and what felt right for us. Yeah.
Does Brady kind of have the same standpoint as you, or does he ever try to like push you to be more comfortable leaving or going out more?
Like, sometimes I am like, oh, I really need a break. He tries to give me a break. He'll take Rustin, he'll take him to the gym, he'll do whatever with him, but Rustin wants me, and it's so hard on him to see Rustin wants me. I do feel bad sometimes when he tries. He's like, he really wants to be there for me and help. He's not pushing me to leave Rustin, but he can tell when I need a break. He's like, all right, I'm going to take Rustin and go do this, but Rustin's not having it. So then he feels disappointed in himself. But we are on the same page that it is so good for him to want a healthy relationship with me and Brady and be so comfortable around us. But it is definitely a struggle sometimes when we can't talk, or when I can't go just run into the store to grab something. But we know we're gonna think someday we'll miss doing this. We're gonna wish we were juggling Rustin and trying to figure everything else out.
You guys have such a great outlook, and obviously it is such a blessing, but you've made it so positive and really like just tried to embrace every aspect of it. Did you feel like there were resources available to you when times were harder, or you were having questions or feeling like you were alone in something? Like, did you feel like there was support out there for you?
Everyone on social media is so supportive. Most of our comments are so nice. And whenever I'm struggling, I'm like, so many people look up to me. Like, I'm doing things right. I'm doing something right. Whenever I feel like I'm not doing good enough, I do have times where I feel like we don't have a ton of support, but my mom is so huge. I'll text her, Mom, like, Rustin I've never been this stressed out in my life. And she says, you're the best mom I know. Like, you're doing something right. Like, he loves you so much. And it's okay that he's attached to you. Like, she'll make me feel like it's normal and it's just a phase of life. I just always go back to someday I'm going to be wishing I was here, sitting with him crying in my arms.
Like when he was a baby.
Yeah, exactly. Brady's just all the support I really need. Like, he's everything in one human. But then outside of Brady, my mom, she's huge support. And my dad, they make me feel like such good parents.
That's
and
amazing.
That coming from them, like, I've always wanted to meet their expectations and never let them down. It's just like super reassuring.
I feel that. I feel like having your parents' blessing on how you're parenting is like such like a full circle achievement.
My mom and dad are super supportive, and they always make me feel like I'm doing good.
Obviously, we've gotten to know Rustin today, which is amazing. I'm having the best time with all of you.
Thank you.
He is so intelligent, so smart, and so polite, which is a testament to how you are raising him. He's not even 2, and he knows sign language, and he can speak really, really well. Can you talk to me a little bit about when you noticed that he was like well above his age, and how you kind of played a part in that as well?
Yeah, so I think me getting to stay at home played a huge role in how quickly he developed his skills to talk. And he was walking at 9 months, which was like, wow, like that's crazy. He's walking at 9 months. Like, some people comment, oh my gosh, my baby's 2 and they're still crawling. And I'm like, every kid is different. Like, don't compare your kids. But it was so crazy. Like, people would come up to me and say, like, that's so advanced. And for me, I didn't grow up around any other kids. Like, I didn't know anything else other than, oh, he's walking at 9 months. Like, that's cool. I just try to work with him. He would show that he was ready. And so I try to work with him. And the whole sign language thing was so helpful too, because before he could talk, we'd be in the tub and he'd sign, all done. And I'm like, wow, like, he's just such a great learner. Honestly, I only have to do things 2 or 3 times and he'll pick up on it. The way he has the best manners, like we really didn't even teach that to him. Like he just hears us say thank you to a waitress out in public, and now he knows, oh, someone hands me something, I'm gonna say thank you. And he's just like, yeah, it just comes so naturally. He's the best learner. And just being around me and Brady all day, he just picks up on our interactions with each other and with other people out in public too. It's just crazy. We really implemented sign language just because it's just such a whole different world before he could talk. Like,
yeah, it just helps communicate.
Yeah, a lot of people think he's hard of hearing, or one of us are hard of hearing, but we're not. And if he ever he did run into a kid who couldn't talk or hear. They couldn't talk or hear, and he was doing signs back and forth with them. Like he said, thank you. And it's so crazy to see, like, it just like all pays off in that moment of like us teaching him sign language. It was just amazing to see that he really understood, like he understands with us, and it's like, Rustin, can you sign thank you? And he does it. But to see him like interact with another kid, the mom told me that made that kid's day, and it was just like so worth it. Yeah, it was so amazing to see that.
Yeah. How did you figure out being a parent? Because I'm 26 and I truly like can't imagine being a parent yet. I feel like if I had a baby, I would know what to do. Like my instincts would just kick in. But can you talk a little bit about what your journey was like?
Yeah, our parenting style just came so natural for us. A lot of people do say it's gentle parenting, which I would agree with, but we didn't really label it. Like we're going to pick gentle parenting. We're not going to yell. It just came so natural to us. Like we never want to raise our voice to Rustin. I just don't think that's ever good. Like we don't like being yelled at. Why would he being like getting yelled at? We do co-sleep, which just also came natural to us. I know it could be dangerous at sometimes. Like we just really try to be super careful about it, but it's just what worked for us. Like we would never look at any other parents and say, oh, they're doing this, because you just really have to do what works for you. And it felt natural to co-sleep with Rustin because we don't want to sleep alone, so why would he want to sleep alone? We just kind of followed everything that came natural to us, and I guess it is looked at as gentle parenting, but we just didn't say we're going to gentle parent. It was just what came natural, and it's just definitely working for Rustin as a kid. He just loves the way we parent him. He's happy most of the time. He just wants to be with his mom and dad. And so I'd say it definitely works for us. But if we have another kid and they want to sleep in the crib, that's totally fine too. I just think we're doing what feels best for us, and that just came off as the whole gentle parenting style.
Yeah, I think it's good to, know what works. And if you have another kid and it's they're different and have a different expectation or need, then you're good with that too. It's just what works for you and what works for Rustin.
Yeah.
I guess this is a good transition to talk a little bit about the world of social media and your platform. And first off, it's amazing. Like your platform, I see your videos all the time. The first video I ever saw was the video of Rustin saying no a million times. And I thought it was the funniest thing. It was so cute. Your page specifically is very, it's mostly videos of you, Brady and Rustyn going places together and Rustin talking, and you're never really forcing him to say anything ever. He kind of just naturally speaks on his own. Where do you see your content going? Do you see yourself staying in the same way, or do you see yourself, advancing into more of a content creator where you're talking consistently and telling people stories or life updates?
Honestly, I just always say I'm an open book. Like everyone loves the content I'm putting out right now. They love to see all my motherhood, but I do really love doing makeup and doing vlogs. That would be like just me, like come hang out with me. But right now, Rustin's just such a huge part of my life, and I don't spend time away from him. So I started making videos and they weren't all family oriented, I guess. It just kind of drifted that way because he's attached to me.
He's everywhere.
Yes, he's everywhere. We go everywhere together. We do everything together, and he loves making videos with me. Like he really loves sitting there. Like we have so much fun doing it. Like I don't even post half of the videos we make because before I even started my social media, I was just taking the videos and pictures anyways, because that's just who I am. I want to remember everything. I want to be able to look back on them someday. So I was taking videos and pictures before I started posting them, and then one day I was like, let me start posting them, like see what happens. And it just took off from there, and we have so much fun with it. It just doesn't seem like a job at all. It comes so naturally. Like we just have so much fun with it.
That's great. What is it like for you averaging, multiple millions of views per video that you post? Is there ever moments where you're like, holy shit, this is a lot of people watching me and watching my baby and my fiance?
Yeah, it is. And part of me hates showing so much on social media, but I have to remember we only show the good parts. So much goes on behind my social media page. I try to post once a day, and it's like a little 30-second clip. So I do get comments, oh my gosh, like he's growing up with cameras in his face, and I really make it I try so hard not to make him feel like that, and I never think he feels like that. Like, why is this phone in my face? Like, we're just having a cute moment, and I'll set my phone up, and it's not like I'm like, Rustin, can you say this? It's just so natural, and I just try to capture the special moments. And sometimes I am like, wow, that's like a lot of people, but everybody loves it. Like, and I get so many comments saying like, this video made my day, or your video saved my life. And I'm like, well, it's worth it then if I could just help one person. And I know so many other moms watch my videos and they're like, I love how you talk to Rustin. I'm going to try that with my baby. And then they'll message me and say, I really tried to start being more patient and talking to my baby the way you did. And it's going so much better. Like, thank you so much for helping me. So a lot of people see Rustin saying these cute words and they're like, oh, that's a cute baby. But other moms see it and they're like, I'm going to try to take in what I see in her video. Right. And she's talking to him in this certain voice and she's so patient with him. And they're like, I'm going to try that. And it works for them. So I think that's so worth it to see those comments.
It's like so special to know that you're helping people.
Yeah.
And do you feel like you get help as well, in the sense that, like, obviously I'm sure some comments are just brutal and you just delete them or block people, but do you ever feel like you're learning lessons too through your own comments?
Yeah, definitely. Like, people say, I forget what the video was. I was struggling with something and someone gave me advice to try this, and I was like, okay, let me try that. And it worked, and I was like, wow, like, people are really looking out for me too. Like, they see my videos, but it's nice to get some advice back and hear other people's thoughts, and other accounts too that I watch. I'm like, oh wow, like, they look like they know what's going on. Like, let me try that. Like, not even just the way they act with their babies, just like certain activities that they're doing. I'm like, oh, that looks like such a great learning activity. I'm going to try that. So the whole world of social media is just amazing to see other people's advice and other arts and crafts they do with their kid. It's just so awesome. Like, I can go on my For You page and I see this craft and I'm like, okay, I'll do that with Rustin now. It's just awesome.
That's amazing. How has it been, now that you have such a large following, being in public places and maybe being noticed? How has that been for you, and how has that been for Rustin?
So it is so awesome to meet people, and it seems like we can't go anywhere nowadays without someone recognizing us and asking for a picture. At first it was like, should I let my baby be in pictures with people? I just make sure we're in the pictures with him. Nobody really tries to take pictures of us without our permission, which is amazing. And it's amazing to meet so many of the nice people in public. And I was saying earlier, like, nowadays Rustin and the majority of our audience is like our age, like 18 to 24 is my largest following. So it'll be people our age, and Rustin loves people our age. And he says, friends, like, they'll walk away and they'll be like, bye friends. So it's so positive. It's just a whole positive experience for us. It's amazing. We love getting to meet people, and he really loves it too. And if he's ever not having it, people are so good. Like, he clearly doesn't want a picture. Like, they'll say, that's okay. Like, it was just so nice meeting you. So, like, nobody ever pushes us to do something we don't want to do. And he's just super excited to meet people too. He's like, oh, they think I'm cool. And of course I'm like, yeah, you're so cool.
He's the coolest.
Yes.
So when did things start to change on social media for you, where you were able to actually enjoy the benefits of it and have Brady kind of be more present and work a little less?
So my social media started to take off at the end of last year, so 2023. And around that time, Brady was so burnt out. You could just tell he was coming home, going to sleep. And I didn't ever say I started social media. Like, it just kind of happened. And I really wanted to get money. It was during Christmas time. I was like, I want to be able to buy Brady something without having to use the money he's working for. Like, he's so nice. Like, my money's your money. He was like, just get gifts for people with it. And I was like, oh, I really want to get you something, like, without you having to literally pay for it. So that was my goal. I was trying to get little partnerships, little deals here and there. And I would get some small ones, really small ones. But then I got an email from Natasha, my manager, and they were so amazing. Ever since then, they do so well. And it really just started to pay off like really recently. Like this
Yeah.
all happened so quickly.
Yeah.
But Brady actually got really sick. He was in and out of the hospital for
I
a
saw
while.
that.
Yeah, he has Crohn's disease, which landed him in the hospital. It was really scary.
Yeah.
And we say it was like perfect timing, honestly, because he was like, he would have either gone fired or let go. He literally couldn't go to work. He couldn't stand up. So he was in and out of the hospital. And right at the time when I started to get bigger deals, and we were like, okay, like I think we can make this work without you really needing a job, whether we just can't go to dinner or we can't buy anything other than literally what Rustin needs. We'd eat ramen some nights for dinner and go get Rustin a toy because he wanted one. We just kind of like prioritized Rustin's happiness, and we were like, we'll make it work somehow. But it's been such a blessing ever since then. Daniela and Natasha are the best managers ever. And so they work so hard for me, and they get the best. They do the best they can, and it's way more than I could have ever imagined.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you, and so glad that you're able to give the life you wanted to Rustin, but also have like a great life for yourselves as well. And I think that's the beauty of social media. Of course, it comes with hardships. So, you know, hate comments and people being super harsh and giving their opinions when it's not welcomed. Would you say that the good outweighs the bad?
Oh my gosh, definitely. Yeah, it's been such a positive experience for us. We do get comments here and there, and I'm like, it makes me question the whole thing, like should I be doing this? But it's working for us. We're happy, and we just have to keep thinking at the end of the day it's what is best for us and our family. So it's really working, and it's the biggest blessing ever. Like sometimes I feel like I don't deserve it. Like I'm like, people go to work every day and they have to leave their children, and Brady made that work for us in the beginning while he was really overworking himself. But now that both of us get to stay home with Rustin, it's like better than we could have ever imagined, and we're so thankful for it.
So you see yourself doing it down the line and just kind of seeing where it takes
definitely.
you?
I think that my content will just kind of shift with what phase of life we're in right now. Right now it's our family phase. Someday he's going to be going to college and he's not going to be with me, but I love doing art and I love doing makeup and hair, and so I think it'll just kind of be whatever is going on in the moment. What feels natural.
There's so much you can create too, and there's so many ways you can. I've seen so many moms who started out kind of like you are, posting their content with their family, and then a few years later they switch it up and just do videos of them cooking or doing other things too. Like there's so many other ways to expand. And I do
get so many comments like, Addie, we want to know more about you. And it's like, I don't know how to do that yet. Like I'm with Rustin all the time, which obviously I'm not complaining, but we have so many comments like they want to see like more relationship stuff, just me and Brady, which is like cool. It's like reassuring to know that not everyone
care.
People care. Like they want to know more about me.
Yeah. Which is why I'm so excited that you're here, because I think that's how I felt. I was like, I want to know more about her. And then I noticed that you hadn't done any other podcasts or really done anything like this yet. And I was like, this feels like a perfect space to give you the chance to talk about, you know, all of your experiences. And I think that a lot of what you've gone through, there's so many people out there who need to hear it and who are going through it, but don't necessarily know that they're not alone. So I think it's helpful for people.
I know, and people just love to see young parents, because obviously everyone knows Rustin wasn't planned, and I try to really reinforce unplanned doesn't mean unwanted, and we're just kind of embracing that we're young parents. And we get so many comments like, or messages I just found I'm pregnant and I'm 19, like you reassure me that it's going to be okay and that you can just make it work, and not everything is going to be planned or go according to your plan, but it'll be okay no matter what.
Well, I think that's amazing. I think you're amazing.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask you one more question, because you're in LA and it's your first time here. What do you guys have planned for the rest of your weekend?
So Rustin's really just enjoying exploring. We just love exploring together, and like we love traveling. We don't get to travel that much. This is, like we said, his first plane ride, my second plane ride ever. So we kind of just have fun doing whatever, exploring new areas. We're going to go to lunch today. Nice. I think there's a pool in our hotel. Rustin loves swimming. He's like, it's like a whole new world this year, because last year he was just a little infant in the pool and we could hold him, but he's like trying to get out of our arms in the pool this year. He's like wants to be independent and try to swim on his own. So everything's just an adventure with us. We're just gonna get into anything fun we can.
That's amazing. See. There's so much to do here and so much to explore. So I hope you guys have the best time.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here and bringing Rustin and Brady. I know we didn't get too much time with Brady.
Rustin fell asleep in the yard.
We got a lot of things going on, but thank you for making the time.
Course.
I know it's not easy with the baby.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for listening. I will see you all next week.